Hello, this is Karen Harrison, and welcome to September 2024 Reiki call. My website is karenharrison.net. I have Sue Mach'ado from Brazil with me tonight, but before we do introductions, we're just going to do a short grounding. So let's place our hands in Gassho and activate your Reiki energy. And intend to breathe the energy into your hands. And with your fingertips together, intend that the energy flow out your fingertips to the opposite hand. And then to flow through all of your meridians. Gently clearing as it goes. Filling your meridians with Reiki energy. And while intending that the Reiki energy do that, take a moment to focus on your breath. And we're grateful for each of you here tonight, for the love and light that you are, that you share in the world, for the gift of Reiki healing that you give to others. Now send the energy down through your body and out through your feet, into the ground, anchoring yourself deep into Mother Earth. And now return to your breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right. Well, welcome to Sue Mach'ado. I had the privilege of getting to spend time with her in Sedona, Arizona, and traveling around Arizona a little bit just recently. We had so much fun. She's delightful and a wonderful asset to our licensed Reiki Master Teacher program, of which she is a student teacher. So she is licensed with the International Center for Reiki Training in Brazil. She's the founder of, this is a different language, Centro de Treinamento.
You're doing good. Go
Oh,
ahead.
this sounds horrible. This sounds horrible. Okay, she speaks Portuguese. I don't. De Reiki Felicidad. No, that didn't.
Yeah, you are doing great.
All right. How about you say it in Portuguese?
Centro de Treinamento de Reiki Felicidade.
Felicidad. All right. I totally butchered that. Maybe I should have practiced that. Okay. Well. All right. So she introduced Holy Fire 3 Reiki into Brazil and also the ICRT Animal Reiki, making the practices accessible to a wider audience. So she can teach in Brazil and Portugal. She also has been translating the Reiki manuals into Portuguese, making it available to Portuguese speaking communities. And you can connect with her at her website, Oh, Reiki Felicidad Dottie.com. All right. Well, it was on the advertisement, so or on her Instagram at Reiki.centro de Treinamento.
Perfect, you did it.
Yeah, that sounded horrible. I have totally forgotten any Spanish that I ever learned, and Spanish might have helped me to sound a little bit better. Anyway, so I wanted to just find out a little bit more about Reiki in Brazil. And, so you brought the ICRT, Holy Fire Reiki, and Animal Reiki to Brazil. How did that go? And how did the Brazilians receive the Reiki?
Oh, Carrie, first, thank you for your invitation to be here with you and your Reiki community. It's really good to be here. What happens is that when I took the first Holy Fire class, it was in 2020, and I didn't know anything about Holy Fire. I only knew about William Lee Rand because of the lineage and because people talked about him a lot about because of Sweet Tibetan Reiki and Karuna Reiki. So when he started to give classes online, I took the opportunity to have a class with him. And I received Holy Fire Reiki and Karuna Reiki that time. And it was amazing to connect with Holy Fire Reiki. I felt it was the energy that I always expected Reiki to be. And I decided to teach it immediately. So I used it to teach Sweet Tibetan Reiki and started to teach Holy Fire Reiki. But I wanted to know if there were more people teaching in Portuguese, in Brazil especially. So I decided to look for people, and I did a research for months and nothing. And I noticed that in the Holy Fire list in Reiki.org website, there are lots of names of people that looks like Brazilian or Portuguese. And I thought, where are these people? Those people all around that took Holy Fire, and where they are teaching, I don't know where they are. And I searched for a long time and didn't find anyone in Brazil teaching that time. It was 2020 in Holy Fire started, I think was 2014, 10 years ago. So I was like, oh my God, why? It's a so impressive system. Why people is not teaching? And then occurred to me that the problem was the manuals, because the manuals were in English and other languages different than Portuguese. So how people would teach Holy Fire without the manuals? I started with the Holy Fire Karuna Reiki manual. Then I translated after the Usui Holy Fire Reiki Master Manual, and then the Reiki the Healing Touch. And after that, lots of people started to teach here in Brazil and Portugal also. So I think it was really good because more people could teach, not only me. Of course, my students, they like it a lot, but it was, I could help more people to teach and to spread the system here in Brazil. And now, and I remember in the beginning, when I started to talk about Holy Fire, once I received a message of a person saying, you are creating this, it's not true, it's something that you created. But I said, wow, it would be a great thing if I did that. But actually, because I didn't know about it. But now I think people are more connected with the system now here in Brazil and also Portugal.
Yeah. So are you also teaching in Portugal?
Yes, I have students from Portugal, but they are other teachers that took classes with other people than me. Even there was a person that took a Portuguese person that took a class jointly with me when I had, I think, Reiki 1 and 2 with William. But unfortunately, he passed away some months after.
Mm-hmm.
But there
Mm.
are some people teaching there, so it's really good.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, because I mean, you can teach online, so you can teach in Portugal without even going there.
Exactly, exactly. And people, Portuguese speakers, especially Brazilian people all around the world, started to connect with me also and take classes. So Brazilian people from Japan, Portugal, also because we have Brazilian people there, England, Holland, United States, many other places. Also, I don't know if I said Japan. So it's really nice because we connect with Brazilian people all around the world. So it's good.
Well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize that. So wonderful. So it's your own worldwide teaching ministry in a way.
We, there are Brazilian people all around. So, it's very interesting because I think they feel homesick sometimes.
Mhm.
And they think, oh, I would like to have a class with a person that speaks my home language, my mother language. So it's interesting.
Wow. Well, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's even better than I realized. Yeah. What is Reiki practiced any different in Brazil than it is here?
Well, the Reiki training that I had was quite different from the Reiki training I had with ICRT teachers because it was really strict. Like we could not have much freedom to use Reiki. We should use like in a box. So you do the symbols this way, not different. You use the hand positions this way, not different. You cannot have any mistake when you give an attunement. If you do one part of the symbol wrong, the person will be attuned wrong. So it was a really strict way. It's not bad at all because it works pretty well. But when I connected with ICRT licensed Reiki master teachers, I discovered a new world. So it was impressive for me because I started one class I will never forget. I was receiving an ignition in, I think, the third class I had. And I started to cry during the ignition, say, "Oh, Reiki is free," because I realized that I didn't get all that rules to use Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
So it was impressive for me. Also, we have people that is more connected with religion that uses Reiki, and they connect much with the need of the rate for free, that we could not charge it as a profession. So I think one of the challenges that we are facing here is to help people to be professional and live from Reiki. So has Reiki as a profession and receive a good amount of money to live their lives based on that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a thing that we are trying to help with, and also to open the minds to use Reiki for all the possibilities that Reiki can bring to us. I used to say that all therapies, what they provide, all energy healings or other kinds of integrative healings, we can do everything with Reiki. So I think we can open the minds of people here too about that.
Yes, absolutely. And there's many people that teach Reiki in a very regimented way here that you have to do it this way and only this way. And I had a student in my animal Reiki class this past weekend that was taught some of what I call Reiki myths. Like you shouldn't do it this way, you should do it that way, and it's like with the ICRT, we teach that as long as you follow the ethics and do what is for the client's highest good, that, there aren't any rules. Like one of the things that I read in the manual she showed me was you shouldn't give Reiki to someone that has a pacemaker. Like, no, we don't teach that at all with the ICRT. That's not a problem. Um, other
Yeah.
things I've heard, like you shouldn't give Reiki to a pregnant person, or you shouldn't give Reiki to someone who has a broken bone. Um, all of those, I would label as Reiki myths.
Yes, here we have all these myths too.
Mm,
So I remember that I had a student that didn't could not agree that a person doing a surgery, for example, could receive Reiki because Reiki would take off the effects of the anesthesia.
mm,
So the person would wake up during the surgery or the animal.
mm,
So they are beliefs that I think people create because they don't understand exactly the process, and then something needs to receive to be guilt, let's say like that, responsible for the situation. So Reiki is the people gives to Reiki this responsibility, let's say like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So the people that are listening, are there any Reiki myths that you all have heard through your time and reading about Reiki or studying Reiki?
Not yet. This is my first time hearing about the myths.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at this way. Um, a few years ago, I broke my foot in a motorcycle accident because the tank of the motorcycle fell over fell on my foot. And so for months, me and the podiatrist tried to fix it. And so then ultimately she ordered this machine that I put on top of my foot to get the bones, integrated to integrate the bones back together. And so that machine is energetically, manipulated the bones to get them to fuse. You know, I'm sure Reiki could probably do the same thing, but on a higher level, spiritual level, since, Reiki is also dealing with energy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, I have heard stories of Reiki helping to, repair broken bones, heal tumors and things. Of course, we never promise any results in a Reiki session. And, many times it just helps to reduce stress and reduce pain. But sometimes people do get amazing healings. So that kind of brings me back to you had a career change, Sue. You were like a corporate attorney working with, I forgot what it was that you said that you did, but it sounded like it could be very stressful.
Yes, Karen. Yes, it was. I used to be a corporate lawyer, so I worked with mergers and acquisitions and international agreements. And yes, I was really stressed during that time. And I had many physical problems and also emotional problems.
Mhm.
So it's very interesting because Reiki really helped me to heal regarding the problems I had in my with my knees. I had three surgeries when I was a lawyer, because I had not a really big problem with my knees, but I felt so much pain. And it was really complicated to me to walk also. So I had to do, after the surgeries, I had to do years of physiotherapy to move normally, to walk normally. My spine was really bad because of this situation also with my knees. And then when I got Reiki, the pain just vanished. And it was amazing for me. Of course, I have a problem. So if you are close to me, you will listen my knees like doing this kind of noise. But the pain, I don't feel it. And it's very interesting because some people said to me that can feel the pain of my knees, but I don't. I don't feel it. And it was during two weeks. Two people said to me about it, and I said, "Wow, probably I could feel the pain if I didn't have Reiki because I don't feel it." And it's impressive because I don't know, maybe Reiki helped me just to deal with that and to walk, and I can do everything now. Because I could not hide properly depending of the way of the ground, or I could not kneel. I could not do many things that now I can. So I'm really thankful to Reiki because of that.
Yeah, I saw you hopping over a barbed wire fence in Sedona.
Yes, I could do that. And some years ago, I was not able to even do some hikes that we did.
Mm-hmm.
So Reiki for me is really helped me to heal in many ways. So when I was a lawyer, I was really stressed. I was the kind of a nervous person. So you know that person during when you are driving and you're saying that person that is saying bad things to everybody that cross the way. I was that person. I was like that, really nervous. Yeah, complicated.
Road
And
rage.
sorry.
We call that road rage.
Yeah. So what happens that I decided to quit my job because I had some problems, not only with my knees and pain, but I had many problems with my health, like migraines and going to the hospital and always sick. So my body was telling me that was something wrong with my way of life, and I didn't understand until I slept driving a car, and I hit my car while it happened. So when it happened with me, I said, "Okay, universe, what you're telling me I have to do something." Then I quit my job. This was the moment that I decided to quit my dream job because I dreamed for many years that when I got that kind of job that I was, I would be happy and it would be perfect because I would be on the way that I thought would be happiness, but I was not happy. I was not happy at all. And what happens that I quit my job and I didn't know exactly what to do, but I decided to give me some time and maybe try a public position, like judge or something like that. But I didn't want it for real. I didn't want it truly. What happens that I had a class, actually animal communication class, because I love dogs. So, and all animals. And I thought, oh, it would be great to if I could talk with my dogs, understand everything. I thought I understood, and I did understood them, but I wanted so much to talk with them. Then I took this class, and during this class, I took one of my dogs. I had 3 dogs, and he felt some pain because he had hip dysplasia. And one of the students were a Reiki practitioner and asked about giving some Reiki during the break of the class. And she gave some Reiki to him, and my dog just melted there. And it was amazing. And I said, oh my God, I need this. Imagine how they could be healthier and without pain if I know how to give Reiki like that with my hands. It's impressive. And then when I left that class, I was feeling amazing, like curtain that opened in front of me, and the world was just there waiting for me to arrive. Then I took the first Reiki 1 and 2 classes and started to use Reiki, not only for them, but I started with me. And I gave me everything as the teacher said, Yogasha meditation, chant the Gokai, and do all hand positions twice a day. And I did. And what happened is that I changed it a lot. And nobody could understand what was happening with me, because suddenly I was calmer and everything was okay, and my health improved, and my relationship with my husband improved a lot. And my dogs started to not go to the veterinary often as they were before, and all my pains started to disappear. And I was also having physiotherapy because of my knees. And the physiotherapy, she said to me, oh, now you have Reiki, I think you will stop the physiotherapy soon. And I did. So she said that I could stop the exercises with her and everything that I did with her and move on. And well, my life changed completely.
Wow. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All through a animal communication class. And yeah, well, that's exciting. And then you took Reiki 1 and 2 and then decided to go on and take the Reiki master, and then did you
Yeah.
called to teach?
Well, what happens that I had the Reiki 1 and 2, then I took an animal Reiki class. Also, it was not ICRT animal Reiki, it didn't exist that time. Only for techniques, and my friends started to ask Reiki for their pets. So I started to give some Reiki to them, and then for some people, for my family. And then I realized, oh my God, maybe I could do this professionally. Then I started to give Reiki mostly for dogs, and I opened a place with a veterinary, and I started to give sessions to people and to animals at that place. Then I took what we called the advanced Reiki class. That was the 3A before. Then I decided that this is what I wanted to do for life. And I had clients and everything. Then I took the Reiki Master class. That was a sweet Tibetan. It was so interesting that I decided to dive for the Japanese Reiki techniques. And then I took the Gendai Reiki class to Master Class 2. Then because of that, I listened a lot about William Lee Rand and Hiroshi Doi and Frank Java Petter and all these Reiki masters, and started to study and search about them. So after that, I was already a Reiki master teacher um, and practitioner also. And I decided to take the Holy Fire class with William Rand when the pandemic started.
Mm-hmm. Wow, amazing. So some of the things that you knew as a lawyer, did they help you with a Reiki business?
Oh, yes, I am sure about that. As I worked with corporate law, I understood a lot about trademarks. I understood a lot about intellectual property, copyrights, things like that, opening company, and how to have register a corporation registered here in Brazil and international agreements. So what happened is that when I decided to translate the ICRT manuals and to give the Karuna Reiki class also, many people here in Brazil don't understand what is a trademark, and Karuna Reiki is trademarked here as Holy Fire. So to explain these things to people was really interesting. And also to provide the manuals because of the translation, the copyrights and everything, and the agreements that I signed with William. So everything was really useful for me. So I think it was easier also because I used it to write agreements in Portuguese and English. So to translate the manuals was not so difficult as I could imagine. Of course, I was not using it a lot for some time, but it was not so difficult. So I think everything helped me a lot with that.
Wow, well, that's an amazing accomplishment because translating cannot be easy.
Yes, it's
So,
not easy.
so
You need to pay attention to many details, like definitions. So to be a lawyer helped me to understand that when you create a definition of a word, of a technique, you need to follow it. You cannot change the name or say it in a different way, for example. So I think it helped me a lot with some details when you translate a manual, because it's not a book, it's a manual.
yeah, yeah. Well, how is the animal Reiki being received in Brazil? Do the Brazilians like it? Are they open to it?
Oh, yes. Yes, it's very interesting because as I started to my business with animals, especially dogs, I also give Reiki to cats, for example, but mostly dogs. What happens that I call the attention of many veterinaries and also people that have that kind of business, like daycares and dog hotels, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they started to come to my classes. And some veterinaries, they want to introduce Reiki to their profession. So yes, it was well accepted. And of course, in everything, everywhere, we have people that believe or not believe, that wants to use it or not. But I think that the veterinaries specifically, they need so much Reiki
Mm-hmm.
because they deal with things with their patients and the humans of the patients that they are really complicated. It's a complicated profession. So yes, it was really interesting because my first class I had 30 people.
30 people in your first animal Reiki class?
Reiki, and yes, of course, after was less, but the first, yes.
Well, that is a huge class.
It
Well,
was my
yeah,
hugest class.
yes. So I had a vet tech in my animal Reiki class um, over the weekend, and she told me that you know, they often will have euthanasia for pets, about 2 a day at the clinic where she works. And she said during the holidays, it averages 5 a day. And they have to go right from a compassionate euthanasia session to maybe taking care of giving shots to a new puppy. And
Wow.
I mean, how hard that would be. I mean, I had no idea 2 to 5 a day of, you know, putting animals to sleep as part of your practice. You know, no wonder vets are like 2.7 times more likely to die by suicide than other professions.
It is. Yeah, it is like that. Here in Brazil is not different. So I know that many vets, they unfortunately the rates are like that regarding suicide.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's very complicated. I also did sessions for end of life. So I think it's something that when you work with animal Reiki, you face it because people used to look for you, of course, for behavior problems, health problems, but sometimes we have many requests for the end of life support
Mhm.
and very complicated situations like cancer, for
Mhm.
example. So I did some cases of end of life, sometimes euthanasia too. And I was present in one case of euthanasia, compassionate euthanasia, of course. Uh, and it's really sad for the veterinary too.
Mhm.
When you are not the family there and you are there to give the support, uh, your perspective is different.
Mhm.
So you can give the rate to the vet, to the animal, to the family, to the hospital or clinic where you are,
Mhm.
and well, notice how the veterinary feels is it's an experience also, and of course we are there to help to support. So yeah, they feel it's not something that they do. Oh, okay, it's some part of my job. No, it's not like.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if, you know, the listeners have any questions or comments about any of this. We've talked about a wide range of topics from Reiki myths. And Lucy, I think maybe you had something you were gonna say a little while ago about Reiki myths. You had unmuted yourself.
I don't remember anything that I can think of over the years when I experienced it with other people, and I never ran into any issues that I heard about. So that's
Okay.
all.
Okay. All right. Well, we also talked about animal Reiki, and I don't know how many of you have pets. I know, Lucy, you have your dog Gracie. Okay, and no pets, Janice. All right. Well, how does
I
Gracie?
think Leslie has one. She's showing there.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool. Does your dog love Reiki?
I haven't received any training on animal Reiki yet.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, I got one question though in regards to animals. And especially in the sessions that that I joined with you, Karen, uh, is it okay for for my dog to be present in the room when Reiki is being performed? Because
Absolutely.
okay, now,
Absolutely. Yeah,
now that
dogs
is one that
respond
I've
really.
heard.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, dogs love Reiki. Um, Now, you know, so you can use the regular human Reiki on the dogs. And if you take an animal Reiki class, you learn some specific techniques for how to work with dogs and cats, as well as other breeds of animals. And you learn the 3 priorities of animal Reiki, which are safety, observation, and consent. Like before giving Reiki to your dog, you need to ask your dog if your dog would like to receive Reiki, because they have free will and can decide whether or not they want it. And usually animals will say yes, especially dogs. Cats sometimes want it and sometimes they don't. Sometimes I think that they are thinking they're the ones that give the energy healing. And, they are the special ones, so they don't need to receive it. That attitude about cats.
And the cats are the masters, I guess, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure they think they are. And Reiki Central, thanks for joining us for our discussion with Sue from Brazil. Yes, welcome.
Thank you. I always seem to join late, and I've been able to follow Sue for a while now. So hi, Sue. It's really great to be with you again. My name's Margaret Mary. Most people know me as M. And I got to present Animal Reiki at a festival this weekend, the Veg Rehoboth Festival. And there were 3 animal rescue organizations present. And, I was in my head and I had my surrogate with me. And I was like, okay, I'll use my surrogate. And then I'm directly, with all the vendors, I'm directly across from these 3 animal rescue locations. So I went over and asked, I'm going to be giving and shared, I'm going to give this talk and this presentation. May I, any of the animals that want to come over and instead of using a surrogate. And it was really spectacular. It was a lot of fun. And the 2 animals that had everybody in complete awe were these 2 older pit bulls that had been surrendered. One was 8 years old, and I think the other was about 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And over, and I'm demonstrating animal.
Oops, I think we lost you. Okay, that's okay. You came back. So
I'm
you were
sorry.
demonstrating Animal Master.
Animal Reiki on
Mm-hmm.
the rescued animals. And one of the pit bulls had come to them with this horrible rash.
Mm-hmm.
And it was raw and it was red, and then there were specks. I clearly could see other spots on the body that had the rash, and it had healed over. But people were amazed at how the pit bulls laid down in front of me, belly up, and were just, as it occurred for me, drinking it in, greatly receiving, and just so grateful, because people have stories about warrior animals. And it was very humbling
Mm-hmm.
to offer that and to have that opportunity and to see people's response to it. And there were a few people that offered to be volunteers to receive like hands-on Reiki and to demonstrate some techniques. And I was so grateful and so humbled by it. And Animal Reiki was just, it was present at the whole festival, and it was really, really great. So thank you for being here this evening and sharing everything that you have.
That's beautiful. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
sharing.
Yeah, that's a very cool story. I know it's pretty amazing, how the animals feel the energy and just are, can often be so trusting. And
Yeah, it's beautiful. And this feeling that they are drinking the energy is the need. Yeah, I already felt it. with some animals that really needed to receive a session. It's like they are drinking the energy, they are soaking it.
Uh-huh.
It's,
Yes. Well, did anybody else want to share anything or make any comments about anything we've talked about so far? Hey, Lucy, you're trying to unmute. Okay.
Gracie really takes in the Reiki. Of course, I haven't done the animal Reiki classes, but when I do lay my hands on, she really takes it in and really enjoys it. And I can feel her energy back. I really feel her energy. So it's really cool. I do it every night.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to bed.
Wow. What a lucky dog. A lucky dog. Well, cool. Well, next I wanted to ask Sue about your experience in the licensed teacher program with the International Center for Reiki Training. I know you have a wonderful mentor in Colleen Benelli, and you've made it through about 2/3 of the program already, and it won't be that much longer before you are fully licensed, for all levels, because our program, you get licensed first for Reiki 1 and 2, and then Reiki Master, and then Karuna Reiki.
yeah, it's a journey, I think. I think this is kind of a journey, and it's I always knew, because it was written in the manual and people said that is a healing journey, and it is. It's unbelievable how we can go deep in our healing process during this program, because we have to review the classes and co-teach and everything, and it makes us to go deep, and looks like the word prepares us to move on that direction. So it's a huge healing for me as a person, and also a big preparation as a professional too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as here in Brazil, I'm the first one. We expect to have more soon, Brazilian people in the program. But I am the first one, so it's everything, I think, so new, and because ICRT is getting international also, and we are having people outside of the United States, not only Brazil, but other countries too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so exciting in terms of starting it with this international program, and understand how we can develop our business, and also the importance of it, because when we go to this professional level, we are helping people to be professional too. So as we go deep as a professional, we can inspire other people to do it too, to have their business and to spread more Reiki around the world. So it's amazing how it can work, and how it has a structure. So the help that I have, not only from Colleen, but of course from Karen and other people inside ICRT, it's really good. So my experience in the program is, well, my students that are with me for some years, they say that I am a much better teacher now than I was before. They like it as I was. It's not something, oh, you were not good and now you are good. No, they say I was a good teacher, and now I'm much better teacher. So it's impressive that they say this to me. There is a real evolution. So I really am excited to know where it will go, what is going to happen, and how things will be here for the Brazilian and Portuguese communities. So I'm really excited about
That is exciting. And yes, the pandemic actually really helped us to spread Reiki further. You know, we had our teacher from Korea at the Sedona retreat, and we've got someone in Hong Kong and Australia. And so these people are Chinese, you know, so there's a lot of opportunity there. And, you know, we've got some people in, gosh, well, a lot of other countries. I can't even, you know, name them all right now, and some more people applying. So it's very exciting. And that's a program that I am the co-director of with Colleen Benelli. So I love doing it. I love mentoring the mentors who mentor the student teachers who go out and spread Reiki. It's kind of like this, you know, non-denominational ministry that, you know, doesn't have any religious affiliation, but that spreads this love, light, and peace all over the world and contributes to a release of suffering, increase in compassion, you know, increase in connection to your spirituality if you want that, and just so many tools for managing the stresses of life. So
that.
yes, I love it. So we are out to attract some more teachers that feel called to teach and spread Reiki. So if anyone has questions about that program, they can reach out to me. So we're moving into our final minutes. Any last thing that you would like to share, Sue?
Just that, Carrie, it was great to travel with you through Sedona. It was really good. And thank you for having me here and to be with your community, your beautiful community. It's really a pleasure to talk about Reiki in Brazil and animal Reiki. Reiki in Brazil is getting stronger. We have it in hospitals also now, and I think the future of Reiki all around the world is going to be amazing with institutions like ICRT and the teachers that ICRT is training. So, and Karen, thank you for everything you are doing because the program is so organized. You do an amazing job there. So so much.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, well, and gratitude to William Rand for starting the program with Laurel Shantigaya and then, you know, providing the structure. And thank you to all of you for being here and listening and joining. It makes it more fun and interesting to have a live audience and ask questions. And I appreciate you all so much and looking for topics for future Reiki calls. So if there's something that you would like to see us discuss, send me an email to Karen@KarenHarrison.net and let me know. All right. Well, big hugs for you all. Hugs and love. Thank you for joining us. And I'm KarenHarrison.net and Sue Mach'ado at ReikiFelicidade.com. That's
You did it. Yes, you did it.
after this call, I'm going to get a lesson in how I should have said it correctly. I should have thought of that before. All right. Well, thank you all and good night.
Good.